Unilever says it will no longer use the word normal on its beauty products because it makes people feel excluded. Unilever has decided it will no longer be using the word normal on the packaging of any of its bath and beauty products in a bid to be a more inclusive company. Excuse me. The company will also not make any digital alterations in the bodies and skin color of the models it uses in its advertising. Woo!
That's what I found most interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Unbelievable. Photoshop, everything.
They
huh?
literally
Including
admitted
colors.
to it.
Admitted to it.
They admitted to
colors and bodies.
Yeah.
Wow. I can see a little Photoshop edit here and there or something.
Which I
or-
say, by the way, good for you. You admitted to it, whether that was purposeful. I don't know, but it's just refreshing to have somebody, be accountable.
Own it.
Yeah, own it.
Hasn't that been happening though for a long time? That
Yes.
As a younger boy, I remember the SI swimsuit issue coming out. And
Craig, tell
That's wanting to chime
us
in.
about that. What is that?
And I mean, it was obvious that things were touched up. So, I mean, I don't think that's anything new. But yes, it's a big corporation's finally come out and said, yep, we've been doing it. We've been doing it for a long time, probably.
I guess my thing is like, when I read this article, I was sitting there thinking, like, if they're touching up on these beautiful skinny women, you gave the example of Sports Illustrated swimsuit models, and they're touching them up. How do you think us regular folk feel?
Absolutely.
And how did they feel knowing that they have these bodacious bodies and yet, somebody behind a camera decided, oh, let's make this bigger, this less, your waist skinnier. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's sending a very negative message. And, and also I thought what was interesting is using the word normal. I imagine myself going back being a teenager and going to the store and purchasing shampoo or this or makeup. I worked in the makeup industry for a while, and they would always have things like normal skin or normal to oily. And you question, you're like, well, what am I? Like, what is my skin type? And then, and as we all know, our body changes, our body chemistry changes often as we get older. So where you might be normal when you're younger, then your skin starts getting dry or oily, and then you start questioning yourself. And so I was sort of in the middle with this, sort of like, are we making this more of a thing again? For example, you'll notice it in this article, they had said something about, and Tresemme, it's a hair care products in South America, South Africa. I don't want to get this wrong, but they had referred to African women's hair as dull and frizzy on some of the products. And then even in India,
South Africa.
Thank you, South Africa. And even in India, they have the skin lightening product that was once fair and lovely, but they changed it to glow and lovely just to, get rid of these negative stereotypes of darker skin tones and stuff. And my only thing was where I was in the middle was just like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't wake up looking this good. I wake up, my hair is dull and frizzy.
Wait,
and it takes a lot of hair products, and it takes some tools to sometimes get this. So in a way, they're not necessarily wrong, but I understand that there's a stigma behind it, and people are questioning themselves and that from it. So, and what I was most pleased about this is that somebody's owning up that they Photoshop and that they're, that, because I'm not a big fan of Photoshopping, even on social media outlets, I will say this, like Facebook and Instagram. Be who you are. Like, I don't mind that you want to be a puppy or a kitty or a bunny and be cute, but here's my issue with it. You are trying to be somebody that you're not. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call it out. And I don't mind it once in a while, but if you plan on going out and meeting people and trying to claim and be that you're this beautifully blemish-free and this and that, that's one thing, but I just feel there's some deception in that, and I think that this article kind of proves that a little bit.
But we buy it.
We do.
TikTok and look at is this? We buy it in bulk.
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So,
so-
they're going to keep doing it. It's going to keep getting worse.
So here's my thing. Like, so when I do selfies, I'm just as guilty. But if I have a big old pimple on my face, instead of like, oh, I'm going to use this Photoshop feature and just like get rid of that, I just don't post the selfie that day. That's where I'm different from other people, because I want to be real. I want you guys to see that I have crow's feet and that I'm aging gracefully. And and you know, that's just my take on it. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different perspective. But then, and this particular article is just really, it's you know, it makes sense. You know, it's confusing. You're sitting there saying this is for normal hair. What is normal hair? So, you know,
Mine right here.
That is not normal.
best hair in
I
the
know it's
business.
not normal.
You could stand on
That's-
that.
But it's his hair.
Upside down.
Right.
Wait,
It's-
so I want to say, so they're not going to use the word normal anymore.
Moisture replenish.
No, wait, they're not going to use the word normal anymore, but now they're going to show people as normal. Get it? Because of the photoshopping and everything.
As
Well, that's
not so much normal, I think would be their defense. It's more real. Not
Real.
Well,
normal.
Yep.
okay, isn't that normal? I mean,
I don't know.
isn't that normal?
That's an
average,
Are we-
normal? Yeah.
Oftentimes we hear this word. This word or phrase. I just want to get things back to being normal. You know, especially after this pandemic. But
Well, and
what
it's new normal
What is?
now.
Yeah, you know. And I feel like here's the thing with this article that I did like is that our world is changing every single day. We are trying to improve it or trying to be politically correct or trying not to be offensive, this and that. Sometimes I think we go a little too far, and I think some of us are a little too sensitive. But at the same time, I see improvement in this. I mean, you know, if you have an African American woman modeling your products, you should not be making her skin lighter. And my thing is that if that's what you're seeking, then you need a different model. And you're definitely sending out a really negative message by doing so. So I guess in a way, like I see so many different things with this article, but I'm proud to see that, hey, we're moving, we're changing things. Maybe they're setting an example.
And thank you for sharing that point of view of having people of all different appearances. You know, it's not just. I think we're seeing that more in general now. Is you're having the plus size models and just more naturally looking people, and not that perfect 10 that you know society tells us we need to be. So, yeah, it's a nice.
I think there's a balance though too. Is like you have to understand there's a place that you have to be healthy. We can't promote being unhealthy either.
Which we have
Absolutely.
been doing,
Yes.
by the way. There's plenty of footage of people promoting not being healthy and finding it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And I mean, I have a friend. He was 600 pounds.
I'm just going to say there's such a thing as feeders. I've been watching a lot of documentaries, and some people find it sexy to continually to eat. And people find it sexy to continually help people to feed them. So there's a lot of contradictions, and there's a lot of confusing information out there of, you know, what's beautiful and what's not. And, you know, what do you do with that?
And it's beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Exactly.
Everybody has a different.
That's so
Your wife
sweet.
loves
That's not where I was
you.
going on that
Your
one,
wife
but
loves you.
Okay,
you know
so
what might be beautiful
love
to one
you.
person isn't
We
beautiful
love
to another
you.
person.
Beauty is
So
in the eye
be
of
who
the
you
beholder,
are.
but question that when you have somebody putting a funnel to your mouth as they
Oh,
put ice
absolutely.
cream down it. So I don't know. I mean, like, again.
Yeah, I exactly. We can't be. Let me read this. You guys probably saw this. Marcus Aurelius, choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. You know, we're too sensitive. I mean, this is
Amen.
2,000 years ago, and he's like, y'all are too sensitive.
Yeah.
Suck it up.
Right. But I think the important thing is yes, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. We're all different, which is beautiful. It's so beautiful.
It's what makes us unique.
Yeah. And I think for me though is understanding what's healthy and what's not healthy. You know, things in moderation are okay. A funnel of ice cream,
That's not.
that's not wait.
Yeah.
That's not so bad
Okay.
once in a while.
Sure. Have 2 pieces of cake.
If you're going to do it every day,
Yeah.
if you're going to not
Film it.
exercise,
If you're gonna film it.
film it, you know, and I say funnel, obviously tongue in cheek, but the point being is ice cream's not bad
Right.
In moderation.
in moderation.
Just
What's
like
the
cake.
only thing?
But moderation for one person is not the same as moderation.
Right.
No,
for
but
one
it
person.
is, and that's the point. Being healthy.
As a woman, I love looking at a magazine and seeing the skinny, beautiful woman. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I also looking at the magazine and love seeing the plus size woman. There's nothing wrong with that. God made us all, and that's wonderful to look at. Being a photographer, I do use Photoshop a lot. I don't ever want to change anyone. I want to enhance their beauty. And if that means taking off a couple of crow's feet, if that's what they want, I am more than willing to do that for them. I don't ever want to do a business person and then have them do their headshot updated and they don't even look like that person. That's what I'm not about. I'm not wanting to change someone. One of the cutest stories I had a sexy boudoir lady came in and she was so self-conscious and she had rolls and she had scars and she had a C-section. And she just, I want my husband just to look at me like he did when we met. And we retouched everything.
That's
and we
so
made her,
sweet.
and you know what? They came back in to order their album. And the husband said to me, can you just like take all that off? Those scars are my kids. Those wrinkles are when we delivered. And that's one of the most heartwarming stories. So I don't ever want to change anyone, but I don't really see a problem in enhancing things.
Good word. I like that word.
As for the
Enhancing.
normal word, I have 4 boys. They are not, I'm not a big makeup person. I don't spend a lot of time doing this. So when I go to pick out something, here you go, this is it. I don't want to look at the 40 different kinds. This one, thick lashes, thin lashes, long lashes, this lashes, that lashes. As a boy, Sammy, go get some shampoo. He's going to go grab the normal shampoo. Thank you for just putting normal on there. I don't need to, you know what I mean? He would be there all day long. So normal, thick, curly, straight, great. So I feel like people are very sensitive and over reading stuff. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
I think what's in bad taste here for me was when the Dove commercial, I haven't seen it.
Oh, yeah.
That's
That
in
I
bad
agree.
taste.
I would agree with that.
Tell us more. What's that?
Well, it says here,
body.
one of the company's
That right
key
there.
brands, Dove, also faced pushback after an ad for its body wash depicted a black woman removing her top only to reveal a white
Yeah.
woman.
That's too
Right.
much.
That is,
Oh.
I mean, that's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
That is very terrible. And maybe
That's
in a way
terrible.
that they came out because of
I don't
this.
know,
They
what was
have
the
a
intent
past.
behind
Yeah,
that?
they
What
have a
in the
past,
world?
obviously. It sounds like with some.
It's
So maybe
terrible.
in a way that, they're owning up to it. Like, well, you're going to know about
And
it
when
anyway.
was that?
I don't know when that was, but
I remember, but it was relatively speaking a long time ago.
Sure,
Like,
okay.
Yeah.
I have
what
no
sticks in my head is like
recollection.
20 years ago.
Unilever, from my understanding, there's a lot of brands
They have
associated.
a ton of
and
brands with them.
and I thought Trump owned Unilever. I could be wrong, and I don't want to make it
It's a
political,
London.
but
No, they say it's a London.
okay. I thought at one time
some
he
here-
did own
somewhere
Unilever,
here.
but that was a long time ago when I saw that. If that is the case, but again,
it
it's like,
said it
hey,
here.
just let people be people.
London-based conglomerate. Yeah.
For me, when you see that word normal, if you don't see the word, the opposite of normal is abnormal or unnormal. So normal is just average. So when you're talking about the makeup, average to normal to dry,
Normal
it's a
oil.
baseline. It's just a baseline
Yeah.
for you.
It
It's
doesn't
not
mean
a
you
stigma.
need to be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
And
a
that's
stigma.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a sensitivity thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah.
mean you need to be normal.
Yeah,
That's
I
Lord
guess that's
knows.
where
Well, I
yeah,
do.
like,
Yeah.
all you
Lord knows.
I do. Yeah,
We're
Lisa.
getting-
I do.
so
Right.
oversensitive about
Or
that.
above normal.
Lord knows that's a what
Why don't
is
we just
that?
put
It doesn't
weird?
exist.
Let's just put
Normal
weird.
just makes you
I'm
fit
okay
in with
with
the
being
crowd.
weird and odd. Could you imagine if we started labeling things with that? I mean, would
That doesn't
we own
sell.
That,
Where
I
does-
don't
That doesn't
know. Maybe
sell.
not.
So that's not marketing.
Right,
So
I
that
don't
doesn't
know.
sell.
Where
So-
does it stop? This is
Yeah.
shampoo for blondes, for brunettes. I mean, where does it
That's
stop?
so true.
Is how I feel. Honestly.
There's so many products out there right now as it is,
Yes.
and I'm going to tell you this right now. When I go into a Walgreens or CVS, whatever it may be, wherever you are, I sometimes will look at a product and read the back, but for the most part, I'm not. I don't have all that time. I'm just grabbing something. I kind of glance at it and hope that it works well for me. So just for all those big wig companies that think that, yeah, I know some people have all that time in the world. They can stand in the aisles and read that stuff. But, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of it's marketing. The way a product looks, a lot of times I will be like, wow, that's a nice looking product. And am guilty of that. I will be like, I'm going to try that out. I like trying new things. So it's not necessarily for me, the writing that's on it. Sometimes it's that $1 million packaging that will get me. And it's not always necessarily the best product once you use it. But
Well, and sometimes things are what they are. Like, you have 3 options on shampoo: dry, average, normal, average, or oily. You fit into A, B, or C, or
Yeah.
find something in the middle.
You
But
got curly hair, straight hair. What do you?
Or normal.
don't be
Or
offensive
normal
by
hair.
a term just because it's the middle of the 3.
Are you being triggered?
I've right, exactly.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
a microaggression.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're like, I didn't want curly hair. I want a straight hair. I'm just
Everybody
saying.
that wants curly hair
It's
wants
so
straight hair,
true.
and everybody that wants straight hair
And we know
wants
this
curly
is
Let's curly
true,
hair, yeah.
because we have straightening irons and curling irons, everything to make our hair what it is not. So here we are complaining about companies. It's like, just get the shampoo and wash your hair. Back in the day, we didn't have shampoo. What did we wash our hair in? A river with rocks? I don't know. Like just.
And I'm happy that I just have hair, but bald people are like proud as hell that they're bald. And whatever. Be you.
Some say we over shampoo our hair. We over bathe. I don't know.
I don't think you can over.
Love what you
I
got.
like the words.
Love what you're working with.
That's funny.
Americans take too many showers.
They
huh?
do.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything wrong with wanting to be clean? I don't know. Sometimes I get it on the water usage, but I'm like, I just want
For
to
about as long as I can remember, too, I've been
do we wanna
concerned
go
with
down
my
that
hair.
road?
I don't.
You
And
what?
I've been concerned with my hair for about as long as I can remember.
Imagine that.
No, I know. Seriously.
Gosh,
Out
I
of
should
the
show
womb.
you. I should
Straight
show you
out of
guys
the womb.
some
It's like
pictures.
straight
I
out of
know,
the womb.
It's got the best hair,
pretty
gel and
much.
everything.
Straight out
But
of the womb.
the point that I'm trying to make is that concern has not led me to a brand or what it says on it, but I've tried tons of different products and I use what I like. I couldn't even tell you what I use. I mean, I could now that I say that, but
Yeah.
I just pops in my head because I keep getting it. But the point to me is with this article, it's like, does it work for you?
Right.
Does it not work for you?
Great.
And if-
Try something else.
Are you going to try
Now,
something because
again,
of word?
that what they did with that, where they it says the black woman removing
was
her
terrible.
top only to reveal. That's terrible. But the other words, I mean, oh come on.
That's helpful. I'm looking for shampoo that's for frizzy and dull hair.
Right.
I'm okay with that. That's what I have. But I just
Call a
don't.
spade a spade.
Right. There's nothing wrong with having frizzy hair too. I can't change it. So thanks for doing the work and get me the shampoo that I need to grab right away. I don't need to spend 20 minutes looking for the shampoo because it's labeled some other thing that it's not.
Moisture replenish.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. That's the part that got me. I'm like, I can fully admit that I wake up and I have not the best hair. So it's like they're speaking the truth. Why are we getting mad at them for speaking the truth that we have dull and frizzy hair? It's
Because
I don't
everything
know.
has to be made bigger and better than it is. Like all the new fancy buzzwords. Can you just say what it is so I don't have to go into a dictionary and say, what the heck does this
Wikipedia. Go to
buzzword of the day mean? I don't know what the buzzword
Or the Urban Dictionary.
Dictionary.
And
It's just like
Can you imagine?
Fuzzy,
And can
fizzy,
you imagine
whatever.
those like meetings that they have over there at Unilever? Having to for words like how can we not be offensive and how can we oh my gosh, I have a headache thinking about it because that they're just spitballing and like this focus group of like what's not going to offend people, what's going to sell.
See,
Why
now
don't
me
you
being a marketing person, I'm intrigued by that. And, what does sell?
But
what
the
does sell?
problem is to me it's overthought.
yes.
Yeah.
You have to. Harmony, you're right. If the label looks good, I'm gonna I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah.
That I'm kind of the same way. But then I'm gonna try the product. Plain and simple.
Right.
You can market the heck out of this thing, and I'll try it because you had good marketing. But if it doesn't freaking work,
There you
All right.
go.
I don't care what you do or how woke you are or how inclusive
Offended-
you are
offended.
or offended you are by. It doesn't matter. If your product sucks, I don't care anything about you.
Yeah. And here's the thing interesting I think about those businesses. They know this. They know that, well, you might not like it, but that's okay. You already bought it once, and so that they're okay with that because they already made $1 million. So, of course, their ideal and their goal is for you to keep buying the product and for you to love it so much that you're going to share it with your friends. But I always just think that a good company, I shouldn't differentiate, but good company wants the product to continue selling and wants to make a difference in your life. But there's also, it's like, hey, we made $1 million, So,
Here's
One
how
and done.
ridiculous this is. Have you ever heard of Disney? Small company.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Heard of them?
The ever-changing Disney.
So Disney put on. So they stream the Muppets now, right? So Disney, did you hear about this? Mm-hmm. So they put this disclaimer on front of the Muppets that it could offend you, right? Did you hear
Muppets?
anything
I
about
didn't
that?
see
I'm
that.
not going
I
to pull the article up right now. People just go look at it, but let me tell the story. So they streamed the Muppets. People were offended by some of the things that the Muppets do and say and blah, blah, blah. So they put on this disclaimer at the beginning of the Muppets when they're streaming, and that it could offend you, essentially. I'm paraphrasing. Now, Hulu is owned by Disney. And have you ever heard of The Family Guy?
Oh, yeah.
The Family
Totally
Guy,
PC.
The Family Guy, who is done by Seth MacFarlane. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Seth MacFarlane, who is a very blue guy, right? He's Democrat. He's very liberal, progressive, whatever. You want to label him. I hate
Well, he
labels,
is, yeah.
but that's how people would define him, and that's fine. I don't care, but I hate labels. Some of the most racist, terrible things that the Family Guy does and talks about and jokes about today, and they're okay with it.
Hypocrisy.
So this same thing is bleeding. This whole woke culture and this canceled culture is bleeding into hair products. And it needs to when they're doing something as awful as depicting a black woman removing her top and becoming a white woman. That's ridiculously crazy. 100 years ago it was crazy. 200 years ago, that people, come on. You
Anytime.
need to be called out for that, and you need to be smacked for that kind of stuff. Right?
Right.
Yes.
But when
Yeah.
you have the Muppets...
Yeah.
and you have Seth MacFarlane's The Family Guy, and it's not treated the same at all, now I have a problem.
Or Dr.
Seuss.
Seuss and WAP. I heard WAP a lot this week
Cardi
at a
B.
family resort, and I'm like,
It's WAP.
and there's kids at whatever.
Is it WAP? Oh, I don't know.
WAP.
I didn't know
WAP.
what
And
it
I'm
was.
like,
okay, I didn't know
don't
WAP,
look- don't
WAP
look it
it
up.
was.
Back
okay.
in
And
my
I'm like,
day, that
she's
was a
gonna get a
college
freaking
cooler.
Grammy
I
for
know.
that. Yet Dr. Seuss is being
Yep.
Scrutinized.
scrutinized. And I'm like, if you took out all of the inappropriate words in that song would be like 10 seconds long. Like, come on. Just stop already. The double standards
Yeah.
are mind blowing.
We had a meme for that, right?
We did.
I believe it was something
Yeah.
like, I can't, wait to read the lyrics to Cardi B's WAP to my children before bed, but I'm going to avoid Dr.
Dr.
Seuss's
Seuss.
Green Eggs and Ham.
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope everybody knows what WAP stands for.
Don't look it up. Well, look it up. Look it up.
AP. Wet. And then a
But
couple other words.
I'm trying to gluteus maximus.
Wet donkey.
cat.
Wet donkey cat.
There we go.
Wow.
Donkey cat.
Hey, a lot of people have asked how they can support the work we're doing here at Matt Logan Speaks. Well, you see this hammer that I got in my hand? It's pretty big. All you have to do is hammer the share button. Go ahead and hammer out a comment to us. Go ahead and hammer the like button. Go ahead and hammer the subscription button. Go ahead and hammer the notification bell so that when we have new content up, you're the first to know about it. We really appreciate the comments, shares, likes, because you know what? That's the best way you can support us, because the algorithms on all these fancy computers, that's what they need. We appreciate it.